Hello folks, Jonathan Milam here. I hope you're having a great day. As for me, I've got a problem. And the problem is this mouthpiece. For the better part of the last couple of years, I've been playing a lot of GRs. Really think I get a nice sound out of this GR64MX. Of course, you know, a nice sound for me is based on my playing. Was very happy with this piece, which is a little deeper. Used to, I liked shallow V's, then I went to a kind of a bit more of a bowl type shallow cup. And this is an MX, so it's a medium, extra deep, a little bit deeper than a Bach, your average Bach 3C, but not quite as large a diameter. I usually play a 7. Sometime back, I'd got a horn in, it had a mouthpiece. In fact, the problem mouthpiece, which is a Bach Mt Vernon 7C. And I just put this thing in there to play and, listen to the video later. And I thought, wow, that's a really full live sound. And a couple of problems with this mouthpiece. First of all, it's deeper than I'm used to. It's quite a bit deeper than the MX64 GR that I've been playing. It's deeper than almost everything I've played previously. And the other thing is, it's a Mt Vernon, it's big. The diameter on this thing feels like a 5 to me. Not quite as big as a 3, but definitely it's the largest 7 that I've got here. And I do have a few mouthpieces that I have been working with. And you can see all of those there are 7Cs. And none of them are Mt Vernons. But today, thank you, Heather, I did get in a couple of New York 7Cs. And so we will throw them into the mix. Got a really nice Patrick here. And what I'm going to have to do is put on my glasses, which I almost never have to wear. But dealing with these mouthpieces, and the thing that really kills me on these mouthpieces is, makes so much difference whether the cork has a dot after it, because that is indicative of the time. Okay, I'm going to play most of this on a Bach Stradivarius. This is the SterlingSilverPlus bell. And you see a little bit of lacquer, which I need to get off of here. It's really discolored, as lacquer does have a tendency. I kind of like that. I call it my leopard bell. But nice, average sounding horn, not too bright, not too dark. And I actually do have a great trumpet here. It's an Edwards Gen 2, which gives a little darker sound. And I've also got a King Golden Flair here, which gives a little brighter sound, which I can go to if I need to. Okay, gonna tool around with Give Me That Old Time Religion, because I can do quite a bit with it range-wise. You go down below the staff, bounce up into the upper part of the staff, a little higher than that, and we'll see. But I think this mouthpiece just has such an unbelievably full sound. Maybe I should start off with the mouthpiece I've been using. It is the GR64MX. Medium mouthpiece, a little extra depth to it. And we'll do this with the Bach Strad. On all of these mouthpieces, the rim is different on so many of them, especially the Bachs. And I've probably got 10 here that I'll try. Also a Patrick, I'm going to do a Reeves, going to do a Warburton. But I'm going to take just a minute to blow into the mouthpiece for a straight tone so I can figure what the mouthpiece is like. The throats are different, the depth is different, and give me just a minute to warm up on each mouthpiece, but we'll be as quick. At the bottom of the comments, we'll have exactly which mouthpiece we're playing where. No, I don't think that's a bad sound, but I think I get a fuller sound with the Mt Vernon 7C. And so we'll put the Mt Vernon in, and I'm really interested in your opinion of these, the sound of these. Now, to me, that just sounds fuller and also a little bit crisper, which, frankly, I wouldn't have expected with a larger mouthpiece. I would have thought certainly fuller, but also a little bit darker. Okay, this is the oldest mouthpiece I've got, and if you can see the printing on this, rather uneven, possibly hand-stamped, and it just says Vincent Bach Corp. New York, and then you've got the 7C, and the 7 and the C, of course, are not on the same line. Quite a bit of a chewed up mouthpiece, much smaller. The bowl is much smaller diameter than the Mt Vernon, perhaps a little bit deeper, and you would never think they were the same company's mouthpieces. The size alone would make you wonder. But this is the oldest New York Bach mouthpiece that I've got. Okay, that mouthpiece is so much smaller, it's hard to play. Feels like quite a wide rim, very comfortable, very comfortable. No bite on the inside. Now, here is a Bach 7A in gold plate. Here is a Bach, which I guess, I just looked at it and I assumed it was gold plated. That might be regular brass. And I know we don't want to, you don't want to get brass in your system, but, and I'll play, I've got a 7B and a 7A that I'll play in a little bit. But very interesting. I just assumed this was gold plate, but at any rate, it is a newer, but it is still a Bach New York. The print is most likely, I would say, machine stamped, if you can see that, and very consistent, very consistent. And again, quite a deeper cut probably than the Mount Vernon, but not quite as large a diameter. Very comfortable rim. I think the New York rims are considerably more comfortable feeling to me than a lot of the newer Bach rims. Okay, we'll compare that again real quickly with the GRMX. Okay. Now I do have a few other mouthpieces here, and we'll give them a shot as well. Here's one that I really did like. This is a newer Bach. Naturally, I'd like the one that's the most chewed up, but this is a Vincent Bach Corp, and so of course it's going to be from Elkhart, a Corp dot. Let's see if you can see that right there. That's the Corp and the dot, and of course the 7C. Quite a deep mouthpiece, not again as big a diameter as the Mt Vernon, but I did like this sound. To me, I've always felt like I liked a little bigger throat. Made it easier to get into the back bore, but that we'll be able to tell more after we listen to this video. A difference of degrees, I think we would have to say. Okay, I'm going to play a few other makers real quickly. And here's one. This is a Steve Patrick mouthpiece. This is the Patrick CR5Z. Quite a deep cup. He's got a CR5ZM. Believe this was patterned after a jet tone. I like this mouthpiece. I do have a little problem with it. It's got like a 28 drill, and I really like something a little more open, 27 at least. 26 is what I prefer. So I struggle with this a little bit, but I like the sound. Quite a deep mouthpiece, almost as deep as a 7C, a bit of a modified V, but I've only had two Patrick mouthpieces, but I have found both of them to yield a very impressive, crisp tone. Nice Patrick piece. Here's a piece that I played for years. It was just a little more shallow than I liked, but it is a Reeves 42C. Now, what I did like about this, while it is a little more shallow, big throat and a bigger drill size. And a larger throat and a larger drill size do seem to give you something akin to the sound of a deeper cup. So it's just a bunch of trade-offs between the cup depth, the cup form, the size of the throat, and the size of the backbore drill. Mouthpieces are so, you can look at two of them, they can be so similar, but the feel can be considerably different as well as the sound. But we've got the Reeves 42C here. Good sound. Good sound out of that Reeves. I did like a little deeper mouthpiece cup, and so I went to that. Okay, here we've got a interesting piece. This is a Warburton, and I believe it is his MD. It's a 6 MD, so that's the 7 size, but he uses the 6 for that. Fairly deep cup. Now, my understanding is Ken Titmus had this mouthpiece, and he bowed a little more. He dug a little more out of the side to give it a little bit more of a full sound and a good feel to this. Probably not quite as deep as the average 7C, little larger throat, but a very nice sound. Warburton's 6 MD with a little touch by Ken Titmus. And we could go on. I do like that sound. I really am impressed with that. We'll go back to the Bach Mt Vernon, compare it real quick to that Warburton 6 MD. Okay, my lip is starting to fail me. Knew that would happen. The rim diameter is just so big on this mouthpiece. It's a little hard for me to switch. I did want to hit 2 more before I finish up. Got these off eBay just a few days ago. Very, almost dirt cheap. And that's just about a new mouthpiece. This is a Bach 7B. It is deep. And what I was thinking was I might use these to practice, to try and build up a little extra muscle in my lip. And then perhaps the Mt Vernon 7C wouldn't feel quite so large. But they are similar. So a Bach 7B, and I do tend to get lazy when I'm playing with a microphone this close, but it is effort to fill this up, and I've got a 7A that we'll try in just a moment. But I don't seem to get quite the bright sound that I'd like, a good, full, bright sound, but it is an incredibly deep cup. So we'll try the Bach 7B. Okay, that is a deep, deep cup. And that is a new iteration, Vincent Bach 7B. Well, it's not the Artisan, so it's not that new. And here we have got the big baby. This is a Bach 7A, and that is really deep. Beautiful mouthpiece. I think I got that for about 17 bucks off of eBay. Unbelievable. Gold plated. Nice mouthpiece. Again, just so much larger than what I'm used to. We'll really try and work and have the air to match the requirement of the deep cup. Okay, do like these mouthpieces, really, really do. Okay, one thing I did want to do, want to go back to the Mt Vernon, which to me still just has it's got a great average feel, not as piercing or bright as a lead mouthpiece, but certainly not dead. I do like the sound of that really, really well. And I'm going to play it with a couple of other trumpets. The first one is, and I've looked off and on for one of these for quite a while, and this was a King Golden Flair, very light trumpet. One of the Candoli brothers was playing a Silver Flair, wanted something which is the Silver Flair's technically, I'd really almost call it a large, medium large, but it's a 472 bore, I think. He wanted something a little smaller, so this is a 468 reverse lead pipe as well, very light. Very light. And we'll try this light King Golden Flair with the large Mt Vernon 7C mouthpiece. Okay, and got a trumpet here which I've got for sale. I've actually put it up for sale 2 or 3 times, pulled it down because it is such a nice horn. It's the Edwards Gen 2 removable mouthpiece, modular horn. You can undo this screw piece here, take the bell off. I don't have an alternate bell. I do have a larger lead pipe. The lead pipe fits down in here. This is actually the top of the lead pipe that removes. Fits down in here and actually makes a reversed lead pipe because it's just a tremendous setup. But big bell, extra heavy, shouldn't work for me. But I've always thought that I got an okay sound out of it. And with the lead pipe being manageable, it doesn't seem to drain. I do have it up for sale at the moment. And I've been battling between a Jaeger here, which is a custom horn. The Jaeger has a heavy bell, but a much smaller bell, which I've always thought I liked a little bit better. But it's just hard to beat the sound of this Edwards Gen 2. And we'll try it with the Mt Vernon 7C mouthpiece. And this mouthpiece has a big gash right on the edge. If you can see, oh, there you can see it. Just a big gash. And if I wind up with it on the bottom of the mouthpiece, it is instantly noticeable and irritating. Put it right on the left side, don't notice it at all. Okay, last thing we'll do for grins and giggles, since we've got a big bell here, we'll try the biggest mouthpiece that we've got. Well, not counting a few trumpet flugels, but a very deep, this is the 7A. We'll try and breathe deeply, support well, and see how the big mouthpiece works with a big bell Edwards Gen 2 horn with the Bach 7A mouthpiece. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you're a Bach mouthpiece lover, it probably will do something for you. Now, I would have to say, perhaps one of the most famous mouthpieces in the world is Arturo Sandoval's Mt Vernon 3C. And I did see a video somewhere on YouTube where he said you only need one mouthpiece. And he used that mouthpiece to give a really piercing lead type sound, and also then just backed off a little bit, still filled his horn, and got a beautiful dark tone. For those of us that are mortal, it's a little bit harder to do that. But again, the one thing that I did notice about this mouthpiece, and I really do like the sound of it, is this Mt Vernon 7C, which is, I like the sound of, although I'll go back and listen to all of these. It just is a little bit larger than I'm used to. I've sent mouthpieces off to Matt Frost, frostcustombrass.com or .net. But if you Google Matt Frost mouthpieces, you'll definitely get it. I'll try and put a link below. But I've had him cut some mouthpieces down and then use this Delrin cup, which is definitely an option. But I do like the sound. I hate modifying it because it's not that easy to find Mt Vernon Bach mouthpieces that are still in fair shape. And every mouthpiece, I might get 10 Mt Vernons in and not like them as well as I do this. But at any rate, hope you've enjoyed the journey through New York Bach mouthpieces, Mt Vernon, newer mouthpieces, the A, the B, the C that I like so well, and a few others as well. Steve Patrick's great mouthpiece, Reeves, Warburton's. What great options! What great options! And no doubt, the best thing in life is to find a mouthpiece and then really learn to play it with a good trumpet. I suppose that's the goal. As we always say as we're concluding, and we do appreciate the time together. Love the thumbs up, as does Google. Any items we've got for sale, it'll be on the first line of the comments. If you go down to the bottom of the comments, you can just skip from one mouthpiece to the next and check them out, see what the sound like is. Skip around if you want to see that Mt Vernon compared to the Patrick, the Reeves, the Warburton. But at any rate, do take care of yourself and someone near you.